I still can't quite believe it, but this is our new floaty home, Kimberley Jo. 25 years ago, we both thought that if you can't do, teach. We were in it for the long holidays, the short hours 9 to 3:30, and the chance to sit at the front of a class while the children did the work. That didn't quite work out how we thought. We're now back from 4 years teaching in China to mess about on boats, so come join us on the waterways of England.
Hi, nice to have you along. We left you last week. We just pulled into Oxford. Lovely mooring, really nice mooring. And we were greeted by a swan with his signature, which was a lovely way to start our little time in Oxford. Now, we had visited Oxford before, as you probably saw, but it was chucking it down with rain. It was absolutely chucking it down. We were wet through. So there's a few places that was closed, a few places we couldn't go because of weather. So the first thing we did once we got to Oxford was we went for a day trip, went to see those places we'd not seen before and finish off Oxford. Except that swan, or those two swans, had other ideas, as you're about to see. Join us for this week's episode. This is the old high school. Lawrence of Arabia went here before he went to Arabia. Ronnie Barker went here, but when he went here it used to be open all hours. So I'll just tell you, she's memorised all of this. So what is it you found out?
One of the oldest colleges, Oxford colleges, Radial College.
What else did you find out about anything?
It was established in 1263.
Oh really? Last time we saw these pictures, it was chucking it down with rain. It looks a lot nicer.
It's a world away, isn't it?
Looks a lot nicer in the sun. So our first stop today is going to be in here, the Science Museum. It was closed last time we came. And then over there is the Western Library, which I know nothing about.
It's the Bodleian. It's got some of the Bodleian collections in there, so it's the Bodleian Western Library.
Yeah, so I know quite a lot about it. It's the Bodleian. It's got a lot of the books from the Bodleian Library. There's their heads up there. Look, they look like cartoons rather than real people. Look. How funny is that? They look like John Henson made them. Was it John Henson? The Muppets? Yeah. Looks like John Henson made those. I'm just worried, son, that if I go down there and explore, they're going to tell me off. And if I go up there and discover something, am I in trouble? So is this place, son?
This is the Sheldonian Theatre, the official ceremonial hall, isn't it?
Oh, this is where we saw them walk out last time, through there, didn't they?
And that's where they were going to graduate.
Yeah.
And it's designed by Sir Christopher Wren.
And there's the Bridge of Sighs through there. He thinks we've managed to find Hogwarts.
It looks like the Great Hall when I built it from Lego.
So this was where Hogwarts main hall was supposed to be modelled on. So this was the infirmary in the Harry Potter films, not the main hall, I thought it was. But I'll zoom in. Look, is that Headless Nick? One over there still got his head.
It's lovely for me and Sonia.
Reminds us of our playground duties in Hampstead and Thamesmead.
Yeah, just like this. Cricket pitches were all laid out on the manicured
Lawns. Stripes.
Bit of tennis in the background. See over there, Son, they're playing tennis on the tennis pitch.
No bats being thrown or anything.
No. These would be weapons. We wouldn't be able to have these out because these would be used as weapons. It weren't far off. So it's quite exciting today because we just paid what, Son? What have we just paid?
For what?
Exactly. For what? What have we just paid?
Oh, we just paid for the licence to go onto the Thames.
Exactly. So our new plans, brand new plans.
Brand new plans. On a flip up, well, who says plans on narrowboats? No one plans. So our new plan is to come onto the Thames this week.
Yeah.
And probably head to Lechlade. Then we've got to head back up the Oxford to pick up the washing machine. And then back onto the Thames to head east towards London.
Yeah. So that's the plan now. We're going to have summer on the Thames.
Yeah.
Is our new plan. We weren't going to do it, but it turned out it was only about 100 and something we paid in the end.
£118 we paid for 6, because we've not had the licence before, gold licence before. I could get a part licence for 6 months.
So brilliant. So that's what we've done. It's £118, and it won't be long, and we will be coming up there. So here we are. What's this place called? End of the
Top of the river.
Top of the river, end of the river, middle of the river, same side of the river.
Head of the river.
Head of the river. If I move it around there, you can see behind us is the Thames. And we are here. There's Sonia. And there's our drinks. So, very impromptu little cruise.
Yep, late afternoon.
And why are we doing this, Son?
Because tomorrow I need to get the car MOT'd, so I've got to go back to Hayford, pick up the car, drive it to the MOT station, and then we're going to drop the car off at another location on the Thames, ready for us to meet it there tomorrow, Friday, whatever day it is.
So the plan is we're going to carry on down here to Jericho. We've seen there's a couple of spaces there, more up there for a couple of nights before we start our big adventure onto the Thames. And where we were moored, it was a lovely spot. It was right next to a park, and we had like utes sitting on the bench last night till about 11 o'clock at night, and they was absolutely fine. They were no bother at all, but it just makes you like a little worried in case they're going to throw stuff or try and grab stuff off the boat, or I don't know, anything like that really.
Yeah, we've got a low opinion of ute, obviously, but
yeah.
They were actually fun. They were gone by the time we went to bed.
Yeah, they were no bother. We weren't that bothered, but it's like, well, we might as well move today.
And we were the only boat.
Yeah.
That's the other one. The fact that we were the only boat to have moored there in what is recognised as quite a busy place for mooring.
Sort you out, Chris Sheet. Provide wonderful support and care to many families, and thanks to you coming to do this quiz, we've raised about £30,000 for them. So thanks for coming and paying your pound coins.
Kids around to see if they could find any answers, so we didn't embarrass ourselves. And here we are in Oxford.
I think we're going to embarrass ourselves.
Yeah. So far, we've done the picture round. How'd that go for you, Son?
Oh, I've contributed nothing.
10 pictures, she doesn't know any of them. Oh no, you might have Barbara at Good Life.
Barbara at the Good Life, that was my one. And if that's right, then we're all good. Anyway.
The quiz tonight will be...
How are we doing?
I would say awful to shocking so far.
Yeah.
The only good thing is that you swap over with the team, don't you? And we have managed to find the worst team in the pub to swap with. They've got 2 less than us, and I'm not even sure we've got 2.
Well, we did get 2.
And like,
but we knew some of the answers, right?
Write down below if anyone gets this. Who is the 5th original Take That person?
So yeah, so we need 5 names.
We only 5,
surnames.
son. Everyone knows 4 of them. Some might not know Jason Orange, okay? So it's not Jason Orange. Right? Everyone knows all the others. Tell me the 5th one. Because I've heard his last name, so I have to say the last name, and I still don't know who he is.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, we're doing really badly. Let's see how it gets to the end. Good morning. It's Friday?
Yes, Friday morning.
Friday morning, and we are now going to start our journey up the Thames.
Yep, been looking forward to this one. We weren't going to do it, so obviously it's a bit kind of like, oh wow, we are actually going to go on the Thames now. But yeah, can't wait. Some fantastic places along the way, loads of history.
Yeah, fantastic. So we've had to buy a new rope because our front rope wasn't long enough. So I bought that yesterday, got that ready just in case. And we're on new books today, which are this Pearson's, the Thames, and the Nicholson. You can't say that we're not prepared for everything, every eventuality. We've read up about it. We're going to go through Isis Lock, Sheep Wash Canal, Sheep Wash Cut, whatever it's called, Sheep Wash Channel, and then do the Elsan, and then we're heading west on the Thames, up towards Letchshade first of all. That's it.
Brilliant. Let's do this then.
Let's get going.
Oxford, as we leave Oxford, we've got a few there just to see us off. Just come to say goodbye. Bye, you three. So for anyone who's ever owned a railway track, you know, like a railway set, then this is one of those pieces which comes with every set where you spin it around to connect the different tracks. Obviously you'd go straight into that house there if it was still connecting, but they are restoring it. It's obviously it's part of our history. You can see there as well the other side of it. So we are now on
Sheep Wash Channel.
Thames. This is the
Slower than it looks.
yeah. And this used to be where they would bring the sheep down, which seems crazy, but the old Oxford yeoman, I think I said that right, the yeoman would bring their sheep down to drink the water. Well, as she came through that, I thought the sheep wash bit was a bit longer. Didn't realise this was actually the Thames, but she managed to power it out before we went into the bushes. Didn't panic, used the extra power, and now here we are on the Thames. Captain Sonia's day wearing her sailor's top.
See that on my prison top?
Yeah, I did say before. And so just come from.
It's
Nice.
so lovely though, isn't it? It feels so different.
Yeah,
So wide by comparison.
that's why Sonia can do her chilled out steering.
Chilled out.
So Port Meadow to the left. And Port Meadow runs right the way, like through Oxford really, goes up to Christchurch.
So wide.
See, we're starting to now see some different types of boats. So you don't get many of these on the canals.
Not seen any anyway.
first lock on the Thames.
Lovely lock keeper here at our first Thames lock, giving us a little bit of advice on how best to manage the locks here. Very knowledgeable chap. This is our first big lock. I wish that cow keeps following me.
No, look. Hey, you.
Hello, you. Oh, you're so precious. So our first excursion onto the river, the Thames. What are your first impressions?
Heart's pounding. The lock was completely different. We've had to just moor up on the side of the river.
The river bank.
We've got a cow just going into the water just there.
They're very nosy cows right now. But it's a lovely, lovely mooring. We're just at Godstow Lock, just past Godstow Lock.
Yep.
And we had to come through the dodgy bridge. It's only been, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours probably, 2 hour cruise. But full of, it was lovely. The river's really wide, it's massive. And really picturesque, really green, it was clean. But it just feels so different. Yeah, of course, we haven't got a proper gangplank, so we're going to have to get one of those next when we're near the car next. But at the moment, we haven't needed it, so fingers crossed we won't need it until we get to the car.
Only thing I've got is a few nettles, so I have to trample a few nettles down.
Yeah, they're a bit minging. Anyway, happy days.
Yep, and just over there
just across the bridge.
is a beautiful pub.
Yeah.
Literally just over the bridge we've just gone under.
Yeah, so we might give that a shout later on today.
Yep.
Tony's got a new mate, the cow. Super interested. We're going to tie up again because I think our back end is not in a nice place. But yeah, cow just can't keep away. Would you like to tell everyone what just happened?
I just fancy a swim. It looks so lovely and inviting the water.
What did you do?
Just like there, I was just trying to pull the boat. In here we have like all tiny little fishes just swimming around in that little gap there and in that little gap just there. But
there was one big fish.
There was one big fish at the front. What happened, son?
Oh, Tony was pulling the boat along so he could line the back up without nettles. And then I had a splash, and he's sitting in the water.
It was about 3 splashes. I went down in slow motion.
That was funny.
So yeah, so I
missed it as well, which is gutting.
Yeah, you got footage of me just before it happens, and then footage of me just afterwards. Would have got 1 million views if you'd managed to catch it. And then we're banging these in, and we've already done it once. Then took it out. That's why I was moving it, and then that hook bit.
Pinged off.
Which is just there, so I was hitting it, just hit that ring. Actually, you can see that one's cracking as well, so that one's going to go soon. And it went shooting off into the water, but you can see it's there. That one went a bit broken off. So that one just went in one hit, just boom, straight off, suddenly with a Herculean strength. So we've now only got 2 of these left, so we're going to have to buy a couple more anyway. And our gangplank If I show you our gangplank, it's the worst gangplank in the world. So gangplank is supposed to be strong enough that you can just walk on it and put it from your boat to somewhere. Our gangplank is a cupboard door with a hole in it, and literally you tread on it and you hear that bit as it's starting to break. But here we are, and just there is a lovely pub through there. We'll show you in a little bit, because we'll have an explore. Lovely sunny day, we'll have a little explore around. There's a bit of history just over there, Henry II, I think, the castle, Henry II, something like that, we'll find out. So. This is just me getting video evidence, which I'm fairly sure round about Novemberish time. But go on.
I don't think I'd want to be in a marina for more than a couple of months, so maybe mid-December to mid-February, because we came out of Murcia in mid-February and we've had a lovely time. It was muddy, but it wasn't horrific. I might change my mind, but at the moment that's how I'm feeling. Okay. I think you need to take that into account.
Don't know why I'm worried, I jumped in earlier, it's lovely in there. This is the ending of our trip. A little bit of us in Oxford, obviously, but our trip on the Thames, just down past Port Meadow until our mooring. Now, the mooring was something really funny because in the middle of the night, I think we do mention it, but if we haven't already, this is the time we mention it. In the middle of the night, about 11:30, what happened, son?
Someone tried to go on the boat.
And?
Well, we were sitting there watching TV, and it was about 11:30, so it was the end of our night. And then we heard some noise, and we thought it might have been the cows deciding to eat stuff, but the boat was rocking. And then I looked out, there's the shadow of a drunk bloke just leaning all over our crash cover. Exactly. We saw about 4 stag doos, and obviously like boats full of blokes dressed in thongs and pirate outfits and everything else. So Sonia, in no mild-mannered terms, told him where to go. I just told him to get off the boat.
Told him very brusquely.
He scared me.
So anyway, he got back off the boat, he didn't drown, he got back to his boat. There was no dead bodies in the water in the morning.
We did check after I felt a bit guilty that I told him to get off quickly. So and he might have fallen in.
But it was wonderful. It's our first Thames mooring, our first wild Thames mooring. It was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. So that's the end of another week. Thank you for staying with us. We really appreciate it. We really do. I can't say enough how much we do. So it's over to Sonia for her timings.
If you haven't watched the first video, you won't know what that actually means. Anyway, if you like the video, please press the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please press the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And if you want to be notified next time we upload a video, YouTube will notify you if you press the notifications icon.
And hopefully she did that in perfect timing. And as we're on the Thames, that should tide you over until next week.
Oh.
I've got a whole new lot. It died on the canals. The canals I was struggling, but all of a sudden we're out on the rivers and I've got a whole new lot of material, people.
Oh, goody.
Oh, goody.
Have a good week, everyone.
Have a good week. Bye.